quarterfinals of the Kalinga Super Cup 2025, and after knocking out one Kolkata giant on the opening day of the tournament, Kerala Blasters take on the Mohun Bagan Super Giant. We are live from the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar.
Hello.
David Katala and his boys have shown some promise in the opening day, and they have looked very, very sharp, and they have looked different. They've given hopes to the home fans, to the fans of Kerala Blasters back at home. They have travelled here, and Mohun Bagan, they've come very late with a very young squad. Nuno Reis, the only foreigner in this very Super Cup squad for Mohun Bagan. They have the likes of Ashik Karonian and Sahal, and they will hope to make their way out of this quarterfinals. Kerala Blasters, Mohun Bagan, the first of them, and we'll hear out from the head coaches of both the sides ahead of the game.
David, you'll be facing Shield and ISL winners. A big test for your team today?
Yes, another chance, another opportunity to show what we won in this Super Cup. The players are ready. We have been working a lot the last 2 days, thinking in the game. So looking forward to start the game and compete.
You will not have seen them play yet in this tournament. Will this work in your favor or against it?
I don't like to speak about favorites or about teams. I want to be focused on the game of today, and that for sure is going to be very difficult for us. We'll need to do our best if we want to pass to the next round, and for me this is I'm focused on that.
Noah was on fire the last game. How does your team respond if he's marked today?
We know what Noah can give us to the team. It's not a secret. We know about his quality, about his performance. So it's just a matter of to convince them that they have also to work in defense, not just in attack, and to let them know that, or let him know that for us, for the team, is very important that he can be 100%.
And how is Luna doing? Will we see him play today?
No, finally he's not on the squad, he's not on the list, he has still the muscle problem. Let's see if we win today, we are going to be able to have him in next round.
Thank you, David. Good luck.
Thank you.
Pastor, it will be your first game in the Super Cup. What is your game plan?
Game plan, we just, our reserve team is coming here with some couple of seniors. We just, it's an exposure trip for our junior players. So they produce their best. And hopefully, Mohun Bagan, when playing, they try to win the match. Of course, we are not come here to losing, but we try to best, and that's all.
Following up on what you said, a lot of the key players will be missing. What's the reason behind that?
No, not reason. It's a exposure trip for the juniors. The management give the opportunity to produce build up our supply lines. So that's why we choose this Super Cup. So it's before that it's an exposure trip for our juniors.
Kerala Blasters have already played their first game. What are you expecting from them today?
No, this is a good team. Now currently he is one of the best team in India. No doubt about that. But I am lucky to face this kinds of team that we judge our young players, how they prepare and how they handle the best team in the pitch.
Thank you. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Very interesting takes from both the head coaches. David Katala says it is another chance and opportunity, and he doesn't like to talk about favourites. He likes to talk about what his team is doing, and they would want to give their very best and focus on that. Juan Pedro Benali, as always, present out there with Bastabroy. He mentioned how it is a chance for the young side of Mohun Bagan, and it is somewhat an exposure for them to try and show what they've got, and also keep their supply line ready for the next season. But Mohun Bagan, with the players they have, you never know what they can bring out of their bag. Kerala Blasters, they will certainly look to focus and carry forward their red-hot form, how they started the season against East Bengal. And our away fans have travelled here from Kolkata, and that is always the story wherever they play in the country, and that continues here. The Mohun Bagan fans, the Mariners, are out there, and so the Manjapara fans, the Kerala Blasters. The support is massive. Two of the biggest fan bases, without a doubt. And joining us in the comm box to tell you further about this match, another man who has been a part of the Mohun Bagan side as well. Keen Lewis, welcome.
Well, if momentum is a thing, Mohun Bagan have it in bucket loads. Fresh off the historic ISL double, lifting both League Shield and the ISL Cup, the Marinas are looking unstoppable. On the other hand, Kerala Blasters, following their team's 2-0 victory over East Bengal in the round of 16, Katala expressed his satisfaction with the team's performance, highlighting their disciplined approach and effective execution of the game plan. Will be interesting to see how Kerala Blasters deal with the young squad of Mohun Bagan.
Yeah, very interesting, but today's dignitary, Sri Vijay Kumar Swain, OAS Additional Secretary, Sports and Youth Services Department, Government of Odisha, is meeting and greeting the players before the crucial quarter-final fixture. And we are down to 8, we'll soon be down to 4 and gradually closing down to find who makes their way to the Asian stage.
Katala emphasized the importance of maintaining focus and building upon the momentum as they prepare for the challenging clash. Something that already Mohun Bagan coming into this game have an abundance of.
Well, David Katala, he believes in his squad and the formation he went with in the first day of the tournament. 4-4-2 from him, only one change. Luna misses out, and in his place it is Mohammad Ayman who comes into the lineup. Milos and Bikash play the centre backs. Jimenez leads the line and Noah Sadoi on the flanks.
Pretty solid lineup, just one change. Obviously they will miss Adrian Luna in that creative role, but they have players to step up to cover in that position.
Indeed. And the way Noah and Luna combined on the first day, it looked very threatening. But today, who will be the one to supply for Noah will be the question.
This is where Danish Farouk and Ayman are going to have to step in to take in responsibility to feed those balls into Jimenez and Noah.
And today's match officials, referee Venkatesh Shah with P. Varimuthu Sumanta Datta, the assistants, and Harish Kundu, the fourth official. Deepak Tangri leading the Mohun Bagan side. And Kerala Blasters, they're being led by Milos Trincic. And Mohun Bagan, they have come up with a very interesting looking formation, and the shape of the team looks very new. 5-4-1 with Nuno Reis playing at the centre back position and Salahuddin leading the strike. You can see Deepak Tangri and along with him Suhail Ahmed Bhatt in the midfield. Sahal and Ashik plays the two flanks.
A decent starting lineup. They have the experience in the ISL coming into this game. What I would find interesting is, do they have enough power on that bench to come in and make an impact?
Yeah, that's an interesting point, but an opportunity for the youngsters, as Bastapro is saying ahead of the game, but also all eyes on what Nuno Reis along with Sahal and Ashik can do. They have the experience and they can really make it difficult for Kerala.
Well, a wealth of experience under his belt, Nuno Reis, but he's been away from the game for a couple of years. Will be trying to make a comeback in that position and marshalling the defense for Mohun Bagan.
Well, Nuno Reis, all eyes on him. Bastapro has straight away put him into the starting 11. And after becoming only the second team to do an ISL double, Mohun Bagan would want to add a third title to their name in one single season. And for that, they have the test against the Kerala Blasters side, who looked mighty in their first game with lots of expectations under David Katala. A countdown to kick-off. Can Kerala Blasters continue with their rhythm, or will Mohun Bagan's young brigade take their team forward towards a hat-trick of trophies? We'll find out in the next 90. Underway with proceedings. Mohun Bagan in white, attacking from left to right of his screen. Kerala Blasters, they have liked to keep possession. That's what we saw in the first game. Wonder if there's different strategies. He was saying, David Katala, before the first game, that they'll wait and plan according to their opponents. Certainly a little better weather conditions today.
Well, I think rightly said, he's going to have to assess the way this young Mohun Bagan squad will play. They haven't played earlier in the Super Cup, which adds a bit of surprise that they can bring.
We'll see plenty of passing, but my question will still be the same without Luna. What can they do? Falls to Danish Farooq. But Danish takes it away from the defender. Nuno Reis, first bit of involvement in the game.
Again, you can see them attacking the flanks. This time, picking up on a second ball, Danish Farooq driving there, managing squeeze in across, and no-nonsense defending by Nuno Reis.
They're lining up for a long one, it looks like. Pikash Shumnam. They have the height in the box with Dusan Lagator, Milos Trincic. Can they bring an early blow? It is towards Dheeraj. Too close to the keeper, no trouble.
Well, not measured up properly. A bit too close to Dheeraj. But you can see what they're going for, with the likes of Lagator and Trincic coming up. Bekash having a cannon of a throw. They're going to try and exploit them on these long throws.
Early free kick in the center of the park.
Saurabh giving away the ball and then a reckless tackle.
Well, Ashik has gone down. Kerala Blasters continue. They're looking for Jesus Jimenez. Salahuddin was trying to move away, but Ashik has still stayed down.
Well, this doesn't look good for Ashik. Jumps over the tackle and I think jars his knee in the turf. He's just recovered from an ACL injury recently. Found himself making a few appearances in the ISL post that injury. It would be really sad to see him go off. But looks like he's okay right now. Sliding challenge in by Hormipam. Both of them not really getting much of the ball.
He has become a fan favourite gradually, especially after that final performance against Bengaluru.
Oh yeah, he's played for Bengaluru as well. And Katala asking his players to stay calm, pass the ball around. Unlike the previous game, it'll be interesting to see how they're going to find space for Noah on that flank when Mohun Bagan playing a back five. Because against East Bengal, Noah found a lot of freedom over that wide fullback, which was either Anwar or Vishnu. But this time it will be a bit more difficult.
Well, they're appealing for a free kick, nothing given. Play continues. Salahuddin forced to play it back. But if you look at that Mohun Bagan formation, they put a 5 on paper. It looks like a 4 with Suryavanshi who's moved up to the midfield and Salahuddin out wide, is it? We'll have a discussion on it, but Jesus Jimenez trying to create something. Naucha, not the coordination he was looking for.
Getting back to that observation, trying to build out something wide, but not well measured by Naucha. bit too strong on that pass. Ayman thinking that he was probably offside.
And Buster Broy in charge of this Mohun Bagan side in the Super Cup. He's done well with the team in past, and also to bring up this bunch of players. He's worked very closely with them.
Yes, a lot of players that he is familiar with. But like you said, a lot of the teams that have played a back five usually end up going to a back three with the wide players going up a bit more.
And Naucha, as usual, very high up the pitch, and they'll be looking to use that option. Noah making those starting runs down the right. And they straight away look for Naucha. Very high up, might be too far for him.
Because trying to find Naucha on that long diagonal. Overpowered the hit. As the game progresses, Mohun Bagan looking like they're playing more of a back four with Saurabh Banwala as the right back. Not quite too sure if he's comfortable in that position. I've played with him and usually he's always played as a centre back.
Yeah, that's what they've gone with from the available options, but Kerala Blasters, they're looking sharp again. Harmi trying to find Jimenez. Ayman was there at the back post, just behind Saurabh Banwala.
Well, picking his head up, trying to find somebody in the box, two to aim for, but well defended by Saurabh there. Should have been a corner. Goal kick is given.
A very interesting matchup. Even though it is a very young squad, they have a few experienced ones. And then Ambassador Roy said it is more of an exposure for the players. But when it's Mohun Bagan involved, you know they'll be eyeing to go through.
With the title of Mohun Bagan comes a lot of responsibility. And even though they may say it's an exposure trip, you know the players on the field are not playing anything less than for a win.
And that's given back to Sahal. Sahal, a senior one, trying to be too intelligent and look to go behind the defender. But they're not looking uncomfortable at all. And a bit of pressure played out safely. Ashik. Options left and right. Suhail with a touch. And Ashik. Oh, that is what he is special at, the sudden acceleration. And now Suhail turns around and just slows it down.
Mohun Bagan showing good movement, moving the ball side to side, not afraid to stamp their identity on this game.
They're pretty much in the balance so far. But in the last 5 meetings, Mohun Bagan certainly have an upper hand against Kerala Blasters. 4 out of that won by Mohun Bagan, only 1 for Kerala.
Well, the only difference that comes to my mind is the strength of their squad. Probably playing with all their foreigners in that fixture.
It's all square still, first 10 minutes played. Now Ashik, he can run with the ball, finds Suhail. Ashik combining well. There's only Salahuddin in the box. And a push from behind, certain free kick. Abhishek Suryavanshi.
Well done to let the ball roll across his body. You know, Jimenez was there tight on him. Draws in a foul. In a decent position for Mohun Bagan. Can they make anything of this? They are going to be looking for Sahal to create something from that midfield. We know he has the creative ability to find passes. But it will also depend on the runs and the movement of Salahuddin and Suhair up top.
It is Sahal floating it towards Deepak Tangri. But before that it was Redwell. But Mohun Bagan have possession. A nicely turned by Dipendu. And they've got a corner for that.
Well, not bad. Good dribbling down the line for a defender. Takes it down on his chest beautifully. Turns and runs towards the touchline. We've been forced to give a corner. But the initial pressure coming from Mohun Bagan now.
The first corner of the game. It is for Mohun Bagan and Sahal will take it. Curling it in. Only as far as Dusan Lagator. Ashik has seen the run from Sahal. And run out of play.
Well, a decent delivery, but nobody from Mohun Bagan challenging that ball, and an easy clearance. But they pick up the pieces, try to go again. Offside, rightly called.
On the ball they look good, Mohun Bagan, but what can they do off the ball is a question. Can they hold on to the Kerala Blasters who looked so strong on the opening day? Noah went for a pass, not sure who he was looking for.
Well, you know, the man that they have to be wary of is Noah. And I think if they watched the previous game, they would be aware of Noah's movement down that flank.
It is towards Jimenez. Could not control under pressure. Vibin didn't get a touch. Sahal does. And now Ashik can run, even though he has players in front. That is how his game is. He can take on defenders. He has given it away. Another heavy touch. A few giveaways here and there.
Ashik, as expected, is going to be trying to have a go at the fullback of Kerala Blasters, and you know he can drive. He has that pace, he has that power to run past players. And the only way, as you see now, is to pull him down. A foul there on Nuno Reis by Danish Farouk. Not called, and the one after that on Ashik is called. Winning another free kick in an offensive position for Mohun Bagan.
It was Vibin, maybe he got a final warning.
It's really interesting now to see what they're going to do from this set piece, because there's only one Mohun Bagan player. Well, I thought so, they're going to go short, but that's a wasted free kick because there's only Suhail to aim for. There's no one else in the box, so it's better if they keep possession rather than putting it in there. I think they understand that they don't have the height advantage when Trincic, Bikash, Lagator are standing in that back line on a set piece. But they have to do better than that to conjure something up if they decide to move the ball around.
Almost as if you analyzed the move before it happened, because there was only Suhail waiting in the box, and the flag was up this time. Very close. Jesus Jimenez.
Well, I think that's what's interesting for us to see is the back four of Mohun Bagan not really have played together consistently. And how will they maintain that line? If you saw the offside call, which was rightly given, it was only one centre back dropping, which was Dipendu, and the other ones were a bit high up. So if the timing of Jimenez and Noah is measured to perfection, the back line of Mohun Bagan are going to be facing some issues.
Hormi trying to go long, and Naucha, the touch was good, but the flag went up.
Another quest to find that diagonal, but the line was held very well to catch Naucha offside.
I want Pedro Benali watching this game, and a lot of youngsters on the pitch to look out for.
Well, you almost know he's always going to be there for every game. Won't be surprised if I see him in the next kit. And obviously they're missing out on their key talisman, Luna.
They have an Amama on the bench with him. Amawiya rather. Him and Kamaljit were also there. And looking for Jesus Jimenez, could not find him.
Well, I know they're trying to find something over the top, especially because Mohun Bagan are trying to keep a high line. So they're inviting Kerala Blasters to put those balls over. So far they've not found any success. Mohun Bagan holding their line very well at the back. Almost everything either running to the keeper or catching the offensive players on offside. Seems like a foul off the ball. Blocking the run there, Naucha, with his hands.
Deepak Tangri, Saurabh Bhanwala had a good bit of game time for Namdhari in past in the I-League. And as you mentioned, he's more comfortable playing as a centre-back. He's playing as a full-back today. Amandeep, him and Abhishek Suryavanshi have been impressive whenever given a chance. So that is a gift of possession. And both of them went for the ball, nothing given.
Kerala Blasters bench going up in shouts. I think you could hear the contact of the 2 feet. I think that's what they were asking for the foul. But it is getting a bit cagey in the middle. Amandeep, another player that's come off the RFDL with a good season there, leading the team to another trophy. Quickly taken by Kerala Blasters, but this is where Ayman got involved a little bit more, and that's what he's going to be in there. Receive the ball in those pockets, try to turn and drive at the defenders.
And 20 minutes into the game, very interesting that both the teams haven't managed a single shot yet. It is still 0-0. Without shots, of course, you're not going to get goals.
Neither of the goalkeepers tested thus far. I think we're going to have to see some more attacking intent. So far, everything for Kerala Blasters have been trying to do is go over the top into the channels or into Jimenez, but not having any success.
You can see a few times now. We'll have a look at that incident again.
Ayman again twisting and turning, which is exactly what he's there in the lineup for, drawing in a foul. But I would like to see more of this from him in a wider position. Obviously, getting the ball in the middle forces him to run into 2 or 3 Mohun Bagan players as they're keeping it compact there with Deepak Tangri and Abhishek. So the moment he drifts a bit wide, he's going to have to go against Saurabh Banwala, which is he's a bit not used to playing that full-back role.
Now Danish Farouk was holding on to Ashik. They started quick.
Well, Ashik touch a bit heavy, but recovers the ball again, and then great use of his body protecting the ball from Danish Farouk.
Trying to build up something. Salah has avoided the challenge from Naucha. Salahuddin looking for Sahal. Sahal turns! And a former Blasters player with a silky smooth finish has given Mohun Bagan the lead. And that is why he is special, and he is Sahal Abdul Samad.
Well, the first shot on goal results in a goal. But this is what the youngsters are capable of. A great switch in to Salah, and Salah beating Naucha with some pace. Down the line, keeps it in, picks his head up, goes for a cross, ends up falling to the feet of Sahal. And how about that for him? A little smooth, sublime dink over the keeper. A great touch to take it across. Homipam not Bikash rather, not aware of the Sahal coming in from behind. Homipam doesn't follow Sahal all the way, and little dink over Suresh to find it in the back of the net.
Well, the control, the turn and the finish, everything special about it. It was created by Salahuddin Adnan, the youngster who's been given an opportunity, and there's where they capitalize. Just 23 years of age. And he hails from Kerala as well. Coming in from the Matut Football Academy that plays in the Kerala Premier League.
One thing I've noticed with the Kerala players, almost all of them have explosive speed. And Salah using that to his advantage, getting past Naucha and finding in a cross. Not good defending by Bikash and Homipam on that occasion.
And there's the man who created it for Sahal, Salahuddin Adnan. He's got 5 goals in 6 appearances in the Reliance Football Developmental League for Matut Football Academy. Can play different positions, can play in the midfield, can play down the flanks.
Interesting fact that you mentioned there, coming off the RFDL with goals and game time under his belt. Seems quite confident to take on the players now.
Clumsy on that occasion, a high boot, but they were both going for the ball.
Well, Dipendu attacking that ball with his head. A high foot by Jimenez. Catches Dipendu in the face. Well, how do Kerala Blasters react now? Those balls over the top, not quite working, unlike the previous game.
They were again looking for Salahuddin. He's really troubling that defense of Kerala Blasters. He hasn't got too much game time throughout the ISL, but he has played one match in the Durand Cup for Mohun Bagan. An entire 90. They're building with this squad. Progress, step by step. Miscontrol.
Well, that is poor from Ashik. With his quality, I think that was a lapse in focus, not judging the ball correctly. But also, we've seen the floodlights come on a bit early in this game, which, unlike the other days, a bit cloudy, gloomy day. Maybe we will see some light showers. But that changing also the tempo of the game. When the sun's out, teams conserving their energy, choosing their moments to attack. In this game, it's a bit more open and they're able to risk a bit more.
Salahuddin closing him down. And almost a steal there. Suhail has stolen it from Dusan Lagator. Doesn't have too many options, but he can still create something. Suhail, wonder what he was thinking. Certainly a cross.
Well, that began from the press right here, and then Lagator not aware of Suhail coming on. A great steal in midfield, and then a positive drive down that flank. Not able to pick out a cross, but that is very good from Mohun Bagan.
Sahal, a wonderful control, but he has eventually given it away under pressure. Noah, thankfully, that touch, taking it away from the Mohun Bagan players. But have Mohun Bagan really done their homework too well? You mentioned how the long balls are not finding Noah today. They are trying, but few of the times we have seen him being caught in the process. The defense doing well.
Well, like I said, they've had the opportunity to view Kerala Blasters.
And a similar attempt from Noah, just like he did in the last game. Dheeraj got his hands to it, and a good strong hands to stop it as well.
Well, this time Ashik not checking his shoulder, Noah receiving the ball on the inside and doing what he likes to do best. Drive inside, unleashes a shot. Not as good as the last game, but now they've got their shot on target. Can they build on this confidence?
Definitely had the power.
Coming back to the discussion we were having, Kerala Blasters already having played a game in this tournament. Mohun Bagan would have had the time to watch their game and do a bit of analysis on it. Also the other factor that comes to my mind is, could they be a bit tired as well, having played in the hot conditions?
Now Vipin's delivery takes a deflection off, and that'll be a corner for Kerala Blasters.
Kerala Blasters pushing a bit more forward now. A few moments earlier saw the shot from Noah, and now they have a set piece to manufacture something.
And Noah is the one trying. He has said after the previous game that he feels he's still got more to offer and he can do better, and he expects more from himself.
Well, that's the mentality of someone who's always seeking to improve and learn.
And Noah goes shot. Vipin back to Noah. Wonderful turn inside the box. Noah from a difficult angle. Risky but cleared to safety by Dipendu.
Well, a set piece variation takes Mohun Bagan a bit by surprise. But a good move, plays it short. A little spin. Noah had the choice to go down there, but chooses to stay on his feet. and drills the ball. Lucky clearance, could have landed up in their own goal.
This time will be another different idea. Noah with the turn. A deflection could have fallen to Jimenez's feet. The flag went up for offside.
Another variation, this time again Noah. How about that turn? So good. Ashik belting the ball on his own player and then falls into the hands of Dheeraj. I think Ashik with a hard clearance that gets his own player on the way.
It is the water break, but Kerala's defensive issues against Mohun Bagan continues. 4th time in a row they concede against Mohun Bagan, but what a fine finish. The initial bit of work from Salah and then Sahal. A touch away from the defender and the chip.
Smooth from Salah and Sahal. Both of them, well, rearranged their words and their letters, and both of them combined together. But I would have expected better defending from Homipam, especially in that position. He's come across with Sahal. Why not go all the way when you know Sahal's going to go to his preferred right foot and block the angle that allows him to shoot on goal?
Is it the idea that Sahal is being used more of a second striker, just behind the striker?
In my opinion, that's probably his best position, and that's where I love to see him say. Saurabh here still recovering from that smack into his abdomen. I still remember in one of the I-League games he had a similar knock in his chest and ended up going off the field in a stretcher. But he's a strong lad. No on the turn. Well, Ashik just smashes it right into Banwala's torso. But Saurabh will recover.
Mohun Bagan will be happy that they already have the lead and they can build up on that. Very different from what we saw on pen and paper. Ashik yet to come alive in this game. They're still doing enough. The Kerala Blasters need a goal from somewhere. Maybe with these kind of passes towards Noah. And that is the covering right there. A bit of risk taken, but look who's down to defend. It is Salahuddin.
The change of flanks now. Noah on the left, Ayman on the right. Will this yield in anything for Kerala Blasters?
And Tanish has options. Tanish looking for Jimenez. Dheeraj with a fantastic reflex save. Just pushes it away. Still with the Blasters. Noah, an acrobatic attempt, and now Tanish. And no one can trouble the Mohun Bagan defense at the moment. And they can instead go on a counter. Ashik. And now they've all tracked back. The chance is probably gone. But what about that push away from Dheeraj?
Well, excellent keeping. Ball comes in wide again to Noah. Noah with a little dink. Not able to catch that ball Lagato, but falls to Danish Farooq. And a heavy touch takes it away. Otherwise, he could have unleashed a shot. But great goalkeeping by Dheeraj to palm that initial ball away.
Yeah, but the initial bit, Dheeraj just diving in that move, that was wonderful. He's not been getting too much game time with the main team, with the seniors. He has a lot of quality. We have seen him. Not a new face in Indian football.
We always knew that a lot of the players in the Mohun Bagan squad who don't get much time have a lot of quality, but the real challenge is what can you do when you are given the opportunity on the field. Another thing that probably has thrown Kerala Blasters off guard as well is the formation that was given on paper. We saw almost a back five being given on paper, but Mohun Bagan have changed that to a back four. Maybe Kerala Blasters were anticipating something different and thrown off with the way Mohun Bagan came out.
We'll have a look at that initial chance and that Dheeraj saved.
Quickly pouncing on it. I thought he would catch it, but not quite sure if he pushes it out or slips out of his hands, or was it a bit out of reach. But nonetheless, there was a player from Mohun Bagan to get that ball away from the box.
Almost very well done by Abhishek Suryavanshi there. And just before that, Amandeep with that defensive bit on the left-hand side. He did not just clear his lines, did not put it out of play.
A bit interesting to see the movement now, almost like Danish Farooq is getting into more offensive positions than Jimenez.
And that is Sahal for you on that previous move, but now he's given it back. We would love to see that bit again. That was some control and passing from Sahal Abdul Samad. He looks to be in the mood. Left it for Ayman. Just checked back, has support. And still Ayman looking towards the far post and blocked before that. And Ashik has given it back and invited them to attack. Hornbipam, that could have gone in, but Dheeraj looks like he has points to prove here today. And the third time he rescues Mohun Bagan and is really looking positive. They're now suddenly giving it away under pressure. Webin, nicely done. Has found Ayman again, looking for the exchange. It doesn't come off well.
Well, Hornbipam searching for a cross, ends up almost like a shot, and Dheeraj doing very well to get a strong hand onto it. Possibly creeping into the second post there, but Dheeraj tips that away from the goal. Good keeping.
The travelling fans certainly are enjoying themselves, and they would love if Mohun Bagan can score another. The Kerala Blasters, they would want the scoreline to change at least to 1-1 before half-time.
Oh yes, that would definitely get them in the game, and the mission for Mohun Bagan would be to keep this lead.
Been a bit off so far, Ashik.
Well, he's not found his boots in the game yet, but he's still putting in the defensive work, and Mohun Bagan been able to soak up the pressure that's been coming at them in the last few minutes.
Oh, that is a nice curl on the pass. It was towards Noah, but have to give credits to Saurabh Banwala.
Wow. That had to be timed to perfection. Banwala have to reposition his body, but keeps his eyes on the ball. As soon as he knows he can get it, all eyes for the ball, smacks that into the face of Noah. Perfectly timed. That is very good defending from a player that's not used to being in that fullback role.
Especially because if he did not get the ball, that would have been a penalty. But he got the ball.
Especially since Noah was the one chasing that ball. But again, the same game plan from Kerala Blasters, trying to find Noah in that space over the top.
Missing Luna already, are they?
Well, even if they were leading at this moment, they would still be missing Luna. That is the quality he brings to the team. Not only as a player, but also as a leader.
That is something to keep in mind.
Kerala would have thought maybe they would have been able to get through this game without Luna, but Mohun Bagan, young team, not making it easy for them at the moment.
And Salah has made the run. That bounce will just take it away from him. Impressive young bunch of players from Mohun Bagan. They have held on to Kerala Blasters as well as scored and taken the lead. But quarterfinal number 2 coming up at 8 p.m. FC Goa and Punjab FC will be looking for a spot in the semis. And FC Goa have done it once before in the Super Cup. They would want to do it again.
That will be a very interesting game. Saw both the teams come out with 3-0 victories in the round of 16 fixture. So definitely goals in that game.
Now falls to Noah. Trying to find a shooting angle. Blocked away once more.
Combination of Dipendu and Saurabh not giving any space to Noah, following him all the way through. Just watch, as soon as he gets the ball, Dipendu steps up, pushes him wide, and the moment he goes wide, Banwala on him next.
The third corner for Kerala Blasters. They need to convert now. Not the best of deliveries.
Well, that is a poor delivery by Vibin. Should be putting up the ball into the box somewhere near the penalty spot. Well, that's better. A delivery in the box, but behind the players of Kerala Blasters. You can see them, they're moving forward, but having to come back and then generate power to hit the ball towards the goal.
Harmi Palm a couple of times now moving up in attack and whipping in those crosses.
I think Homipam choosing his moments to go up. I think he also has at the back of his mind that Ashik is playing down that side. He doesn't want Ashik to be getting a free run in case he goes up. So being very picky and choosy with his runs up the flank.
And a yellow card coming out for Ashik Kurunian.
Well, I know Ashik sometimes a bit too aggressive, and in that case goes in with his right leg swinging, catches Jimenez.
Confirmation of the card. Ashik Kurunian goes into the books and a chance for Kerala Blasters. The previous corner from Vibin was not at all close to expectations. Now Vibin, and it is Ashik who stops the move. Again poor from Vibin with the delivery.
Well, Vibin has to do better, or maybe they can give an opportunity to Danish to take the set piece. Can almost see Pepper warming up. Is there going to be an early change into the second half? Because it doesn't seem like Mohun Bagan are being phased at the moment.
Maybe with this long throw. We're moving into additional time, a couple of minutes added. Looking for Lagator. Vibin. Forced to turn around, but he still stayed in control and seen a pass through towards Ayman. Ayman cuts inside, looking for the curler. Had the keeper working, who had it covered, but it was off target.
Well, almost thought Kerala Blasters would have to go all the way back, but Vibin makes a very good turn to beat the on-rushing player, finds Ayman in space. A little cut inside, going for that far post. But how about that turn from Vibin and releasing Ayman? This is what we want to see more of, and get Ayman into similar positions.
And now looking for Jimenez. Dheeraj almost spilled it, but thankfully he holds on.
Ooh boy. Dheeraj, a bit sloppy there, but he gets a second chance to pick it up. That could have been a tap-in otherwise for Jimenez.
Ashik now blocked.
I think if you've either played or watched Ashik, you almost know that he wants to go down that flank onto his left to find a cross. You very rarely see him come on the inside to shoot or find a pass on his right. So if you've studied his movement, it'll be a bit easy to defend against him.
And can they double the lead through the legs of Naucha? Salahuddin was almost through. And Dusan Lagator timing it to perfection. And the last touch seems like came off Salah.
Well, Salah again getting the better of Naucha, but very well covered and a timely tackle coming in by Lagator. How important was that? But Salahuddin now, right now, 2-0 up on Naucha.
And it is half time here. The Mariners enjoy. Mohun Bagan have the lead. And they move into the break with certainly the upper hand. But they will still have a lot of work to do in the second half. Kerala Blasters will come all out at them, without a doubt. They've been a bit frustrated out by the young Mohun Bagan squad.
Well, Kerala Blasters are going to have to change something. Noah has been kept silent. Ayman we've seen a bit with the better opportunities. Almost most certainly we'll see Pepra come on at some time in the second half. And they will have to stand up to the sturdy Mohun Bagan defense.
They came into the game with a lot of intent, both the teams. It was pretty much in the balance, and this was the moment. Turning away, moving away from Naucha. And Sahal with the control. A cute finish.
Almost the first real chance that came from either team, resulting in a goal. But very good skill from Salahuddin. Suhail not sure if he meant to dummy that, but sweetly falls into the feet of Sahal for the finish.
Yeah, Danish tried a few times to find Jimenez, but Dheeraj coming into play time and again, just stepping in all those dangerous attacks and stopping them. This was a bright chance though. Had Dusan Lagator got the touch to it, could have been very interesting.
Ashik ending up giving the ball back, and a cross slash shot on target, but Dheeraj up for it this time.
And they still tried Vibin with a few attempts to turn his man and find passes through. Ayman was there. His shot was close, looked interesting, but went over the crossbar, sailing. And that was the last bit from Kerala Blasters in the first half. They'll come out with new intent and some different plans maybe. And the halftime scoreline, Kerala Blasters 0, Mohun Bagan 1. 5 shots from Kerala, a couple of them on target. And look how clinical they have been. 1 shot, 1 on target, 1 converted. Mohun Bagan hence having the lead. Only 1 yellow card, that was for Ashik Kurunian. And at the break, Mohun Bagan are on the slender 1-goal lead and will return with action shortly with second half.
Kalinga, where your soul meets the nature. Where dreams crosses the horizon. Where divinity enlightens the humanity. Where power embraces the skill. Come to the land of possibilities. Come to Kalinga to witness the best of Indian football. Experience Odisha. Watch Kalinga Super Cup only on Jio Hotstar and Star Sports 3.
This is not how my story ends!
It's not your story. It never was.
You're here to help me catch the superior version of yourself.
Right. Now streaming.
Blackmail on day one? Not good.
I need to go! What's up? I'm a little freaked out.
Why?
I mean, he killed his wife. What are you guys doing over here?
Brothers being brothers, brotherly love.
You okay?
You should hook up with them.
All of them?
Got really bad feeling.
It's Thailand. Kapkukra. Kapunka.
Okay.
Your father believed in the rules of the heart. But the heart is not meant to rule.
I am Paul and training! You of the racket!
And I will do what must be done.
Clients that we represent, they do what they want.
Make this go away, beard boy.
They need us because we're the best.
No one will see us coming.
Do I need to tell HR about this?
I've always imagined myself, being surrounded with like a dark force around me. Not trying to harm me, but protecting me, like an aura.
Back to Hugo Bumus. The exchange is perfect. Hugo Bumus and Muhit Shabir. What a big save that might turn out to be in the context of the game.
Dancing through defenders, but Mohit with a vital save, sticking out that right leg there. Even Bumu can't believe how he's missed that. A very, very good save by Mohit. I feel at some point Northeast are going to score another one and kill the game.
Guillermo towards Aladdin, a wonderful turn, and he can finish, and he does finish. Never a question mark when Aladdin Ajarwe has a chance like that at the edge of the box.
It's getting a bit too easy for Northeast now. A very good movement from back to front by the Northeast team, resulting in a goal.
Great control. Pulka Vidal releases Asmir, a big chance maybe. A dink to the back of the net. And what a special way to put Punjab on the lead. Silence around. The home fans were loud. And Punjab FC can now maybe try and control the game. 1-0 it is.
That goal as smooth as a jazz solo. Staying calm, dinking it over Amrinder. Finesse written all over it.
Oh, what a pass towards Changte. This might be game over if he converts. He is still a defender to beat. Changte! If you ever wondered what class would look in human form, Lalinzuala Changte is how it would look like. What a finish to kill the game. 3-0 for Mumbai.
Well, he's contributed to 15 goal-scoring opportunities in 2 back-to-back seasons. A lovely ball over the top with his pace. Mandar's not going to get anywhere near him.
Pulka under pressure is avoided the challenge. Pulka Vidal pulls a trigger. Well, he is the reason why you would look back and believe that magic exists. 2-0 for Punjab at probably the right time. Perfection.
Pulka Vidal, the magician for Punjab, pulls a rabbit out of the hat, creating something out of nothing. 50-50 ball there. Rohit not strong enough. Third time lucky. Pulka Vidal able to squeeze that in.
Aiban. And Noah wanted it and gets it as well. A quick feed from him. And Noah driving inside. Noah goes for the left footer. And an absolute belter of a strike from who else but Noah Sadhu. And that is a sting to the heart of the East Bengal fans. What a time to double the lead.
This is an absolute screamer. Noah on his weaker foot. Drives past the first guy, drives past second guy. Before the third defender can come by, he's unleashed a lethal shot.
Kids, get to popcorn now.
Collect your weapons. Stormbreaker. Thunderbolt. Mjolnir!
Are you packed? Yes.
Here it comes.
Well, look who it is. This ends here and now! Human handshake. I won.
I'm a little freaked out.
Why?
I mean, he killed his wife. What are you guys doing over here?
Brothers being brothers. Brotherly love. You okay?
You should hook up with them.
All of them?
Got a really bad feeling.
It's Thailand. Kapku Kra. Kapun Ka.
Okay.
I've always imagined myself, being surrounded with like a dark force around me, not trying to harm me, but protecting me, like an aura.
Hello, do you need assistance? How do I get this gosling to swim?
Easy. Swim!
I want to become more than I was programmed to be.
Hello, I'm Taka. What's your name?
Mufasa.
I always wanted a brother.
2 lions don't make a pride.
We need to find others.
Oh, guys.
That's Zazu. Don't eat him.
Another stray we're not supposed to eat.
We must fight together.
Mufasa the Lion King.
Welcome back for second half action. The quarterfinals of Kalinga Super Cup 2025 is off and running. Mohun Bagan directly into this stage. They are bringing out some trouble for Kerala Blasters. Pretty cloudy and windy conditions here. Certainly better than the heat we have faced in the round of 16s, but the difference maker right now, Sahal Abdul Samad.
Kerala Blasters already bringing on the change. We'll see Pepra and all the foreigners for Kerala Blasters on the field, going to try and get on with some goals.
Well, 45 minutes to overturn that lead taken by Mohun Bagan. Jesus Jimenez, Noah, all of them will have to bring out their very best in order to do that. The Blasters fans have high hopes from David Katala, and they would not want that hope to dim down too early in the season. Underway with second half, Mohun Bagan having that lead with the 22nd minute strike from Sahal Abdul Samad. They would certainly need more to contain Kerala Blasters, along with scoring more. And one change on the pitch, Ayman has gone off. It is Kwame Pepra. And they might move to a double strike formation.
Pepra and Jimenez playing the furthest up. Danish Farouk dropping a bit more. He's going to be the one trying to pick up the balls and find the two strikers. Noah in his usual role down the wing. But so far, Mohun Bagan have kept him quiet. Nothing over the top working. Similar performance in this half, and they will be struggling.
Oh, Salahuddin has stolen it. He has options. It was a sharp attempt, but equally sharp a save by Sachin Suresh.
Salah turning out to be the menace. Another ball over the top to Salah. Drincic not able to keep his balance. Salah had the option to find Suhail, but he chooses to have the shot on goal and only hit Sachin Suresh. But that was possibly a poor choice by Salah. He could have opted for the pass to Suhail, who had maybe a better angle to shoot.
He was absolutely furious, but now Salahuddin can deliver. Clumsy in the box, and Jesus Jimenez clears. Still with Mohun Bagan. Oh, Sahal, slick control. And they need to clear their lines now. On the as far as Ashik Kurunian. Ashik is thinking of a shot. Totally miscued. But we'll have a look at that attempt again. You mentioned how he had support. That was brilliant work to get the ball away from Milos Trinches. Very tough to do that. But after that, he had support. He wanted glory for himself. It was a nice save from Sachin Suresh. But on the other end, he was absolutely furious. It was Suhail Ahmed Bhatt.
Well, I think even the technique used, he should have aimed for the far post.
And now Noah. The defense is doing pretty well at the moment for Mohun Bagan. Danish taking it to his right foot. And Naucha high up the pitch. To Milos Trincic, the captain trying to deliver. And well done once more. This time Amandeep, and they might move on a counter. They're very interested to double the lead. And they've seen a beautiful pass towards Ashik Kurunian. One in the box. Ashik dribbles past Hormi too easily. The pass behind Suhail. Falls to Deepak Tangri again. An interesting build-up. An interesting start to the second half from them. And Hormi this time deals with that cross from Deepak.
Well, this turning out to be like a tennis rally. A beautiful pass by Deepak Tangri to find Ashik. Ashik going his favoured side. Picks his head up, but a poor touch by Bikash, giving it back to Suhail to fight for that ball, but finally getting it clear.
Oh, another pass towards Salahuddin. He's really lighting up the show. Sahal is in the box and headed out to safety by Danish Farooq. A different role for him looks like in the second half.
Well, more than that, Salah turning out to be a menace for Noah, for Naucha, on that far side.
And Noah steps away again. Noah with a teasing delivery. Jesus Jimenez has missed that touch since day one of the Kalinga Super Cup.
Well, they're going to have to start keeping a better watch on Noah. Noah now starting to get into his favorite positions. A good cross into Jimenez.
And we'll have a look at that previous run from Noah.
Another run down the flank. Every cross has found only the feet of a Mohun Bagan player. But Noah getting more success on the flanks now. Mohun Bagan have to shut him up like they did in the first half, or it's going to start getting very difficult for them.
And he's doing well suddenly, Deepak Tangri. And he once again finds Ashik. The first half he was a bit silent. Ashik Kurunian again steps away from Harmipam. Ashik with a cross in! And the youngest on the pitch for Mohun Bagan. Suhail has done it again. He time and again did it for the reserves. He's now doing it for the seniors. 2-0 Mohun Bagan, and they've doubled the lead.
Wow. Poor defending by Harmipam, in my opinion. Ashik every time wants to go down that flank to his favoured left foot and does exactly that. Harmipam not reading the situation, allowing Ashik to beat him. Again, Ashik with a step to the right and then pushes the ball on the left, picks his head up. What a brilliant ball to find Suhail. And Suhail opening up his body, a deft finish. Poor defending by Bikash as well, and Drincic not watching Suhail come into the box and just tap it home.
So the Kerala boys really hurting Kerala Blasters. Salahuddin and Sahal first, and now it was Ashik Kurunian from the left. And Suhail is making it a habit of scoring these goals, but many will see this as a surprise. And Mohun Bagan come again. Sahal controls, almost found Ashik this time. Harmipam steps into safety.
Well, we talked about how Kerala is going to have to come out of the blocks gunning for a goal here, but seems like Mohun Bagan have decided to do that.
Oh, Ashik has suddenly come alive, but blocked eventually. And Deepak Tangri certainly leveled up his game. And he's wearing the captain's armband for a reason. But one thing for sure, Bastard Roy hasn't failed to motivate this squad.
Well, that's what you can get with a young squad. Maximum effort. And they've done it since minute 1. This Mohun Bagan squad.
Smooth control, lovely passing. And just when I say that, Suhail gives it away. And the celebration from Suhail was something wonderful. It's doing very well. Amandeep in defense, time and again stopping Noah, stopping all the passes forward. Amandeep.
Well, the boys in the back have had a good day so far. Every time one has got beaten, another one has stepped in.
Pepra hasn't gotten involved yet. Sahal with the block. They're all playing as a team. A lot to ask for from Salahuddin. Slightly heavy.
This is where Kerala Blasters are going to have to be a bit more cautious. They're starting to push Hormipam up ahead, Naucha up, leaving Bikash and Drincic to deal with the counters. And if that breaks to Salahuddin or Suhail, they're going to be on their bike, sprinting into the other half.
And look at the positioning, the coordination, Amandeep, wonderful. The confidence these young boys are having. It is an entertaining watch, to say the least.
Well, rightly spotted. This is sheer confidence. Decides to roll the ball behind with a pull from the sole of his feet and leaves Noah with no option but to make a foul.
Well, here was the chance again from Ashik. Wonderful dribbling ability.
Hormipam sticking a leg out, but not even close. And how good was that finish? Opening his body and a CR7 celebration to finish that off.
He was so unhappy when the previous pass wasn't played by Salahuddin, but Ashik played it, and he's hungry to score, he's hungry to perform, it is visible. And meanwhile, we've had a triple substitution from Kerala Blasters. Srikuttan, Ivan Dolling and Mohammad Shahib have come on. Both the fullbacks changed. Hormipam and Naucha pushed to the bench. Srikuttan will play in place of Danish Farooq. They'll be disappointed, but their plan was read certainly. Is this time for plan B from David Katala?
I think it also is going to be interesting to see if Vibin and Lagato are the only two ones in midfield controlling, because Srikuttan is more of a winger. Noah on the other side leaves Pepra and Jimenez up top. So maybe a different formation with those subs. Can that possibly trouble Mohun Bagan?
Reaching close to that 1 hour mark, Mohun Bagan have doubled the lead and they're combining so well yet again. Suhail on the right, only one to aim at. It was Sahal who was making the run. Vipin looks, of course, very comfortable on the ball. We've seen it throughout the ISL season. Srikuttan, touch was a bit heavy. Almost given away. Sahal trying to steal it. They're working very hard. And Ashik makes the block. The positioning has been perfect.
It almost seems like every pass is being read by the Mohun Bagan players. So Sahal there, almost intercepted pass coming into Lagato. Ashik this time cutting off the pass down the line where they're trying to find Srikuttan. Kerala Blasters not really creating anything going forward.
The Kerala Blasters in their opening game knocked out the other Kolkata Giants, East Bengal, but here it's a different story. Mohun Bagan have come with a somewhat second streak squad, a few from the main team. And David Katala, the real test, the first real test for him here in Indian football, and he's down by 2.
It will be very disappointing for him. Mohun Bagan playing with all young Indians, with a few players who have ISL minutes under their belt. Kerala Blasters on the other side with all their foreigners on the field, not really able to create anything.
The mentality, the sheer mentality, and you have to give credits to this man who has certainly motivated the squad. He was very humble in the pre-match interview, saying it is an opportunity for the youngsters and he's lucky to face one of the biggest sides, Kerala Blasters, and he can really test out the young lads. Well, if this is the result in the test, I mean, you would not be afraid to face questions.
It will be interesting to see what they can do in the next game if they go through, because obviously this is their first game, a bit of surprises. Maybe now in the next game, if they face Goa or Punjab, whoever the winners are, will they be able to still perform the same way without the element of surprise? Well, you know what's coming in now. No surprises in that. Long throw by Bikash. As long as he keeps it away from the keeper Dheeraj, this should be dangerous.
A long throw from Bikash. It is still in the box. Jesus Jimenez. They're desperately in need of a goal. No tries. What a try, but way off target.
Well, long throw resulting in a shot. This one flicked on by Drincic. Setting it up for Noah. Noah coming on his favorite foot, but not able to get that bend and the right connection. He gets too much under the ball, and that doesn't bother Dheeraj.
Now 1 hour played here. This is the one trophy which Mohun Bagan do not have a hold of, do not have that crown yet, and they'll certainly be looking forward to it. Apart from that, they've almost won every competition in the country. The I-League, the National Football League, they've done the ISL double here, a Durand Cup, the IFA Shield, Rovers Cup, a lot of them. 30 times the Calcutta Football League. And from the Coach Biar Cup to the Portaloy Trophy, they've won everything around the country. And they would want to add this Super Cup and make it a hat-trick this season of trophies.
Well, they have been in Indian football for ages. Super Cup, relatively new. So
maybe they can change that. Kerala Blasters, Nuno Reis and Dheeraj combine. And the sheer intent to not let anything through.
Well read by Dheeraj to come out there on that occasion. We can see Mohun Bagan very organized in their positioning. There's no space in behind. They're not going in for a high press. They're staying in their own half with a low block. This ball not well cleared by Tangri, but Dheeraj coming in to make that tackle and then going on to clear the ball. Seems like all of them in the Mohun Bagan lineup can't put a foot wrong in today's game.
Shahif could not clear it. Noah doing the defending. And there's where comes in the head-to-head records. But today, Mohun Bagan, 2 Indian goal scorers. The last 5 times Mohun Bagan faced Kerala Blasters, there's been only 1 Indian goal scorer. And he's on the pitch, Deepak Tangri. They try appealing for offside, certainly. Ivan was just standing in an offside position.
Well, again, good defending on this side. Amandeep, Ashik, Tangri, all of them involved in helping out. Rightly catches Ivan offside.
They're pretty disappointed there. You could see a few of them on the stands for Kerala Blasters not available for today's game, especially Adrian Luna. Oh, Tangri attempts, he saw the keeper out of his lines. It was wayward though, but he had the vision.
Well, they are really missing Luna. But even if they go through, they're still going to be missing him, as he's going to be out for the rest of the tournament.
Nice weight on that pass. Jimenez controls. The control was so perfect that a finish would have gone down as one of the picture-perfect ones, but he blazes it away.
Jimenez has struggled since the first game. A delightful ball. A brilliant takedown on his thigh. Srikuttan finding him over the top. The first time, really, Mohun Bagan defenders getting beaten, but he's not able to keep it on target. We saw similar issues in the first game. He was struggling until he scored the penalty. Still not able to get shots on target.
Srikuttan with that ball through. The substitutes would look to create something. A lot of time though to come back for Kerala Blasters. And Noah, these are the step overs which turn out to be dangerous. The cross wasn't quite.
We've been doing very well to find Noah wide. These are the spots where you want him taking on Saurabh, going on to his weaker foot left side, not able to wrap around that ball to find somebody in the box. Well, Kerala are going to have to turn it up a notch if they want to get back in the game, and they're going to have to do it soon.
Still 2-0, and that second goal has given them a bit of breathing space. Mohun Bagan, somewhat an insurance moving forward. And one goal wouldn't help Kerala. A nice little flick by Jimenez. Iban finds Shahif. They're lining up men in the box, 4 of them. Jimenez has come out of that mix. That is surprising. You want him in the box?
Rightly spotted. Not sure why Jimenez came out on that occasion, especially when the ball is going to Shahif or Iban, who can deliver crosses into the box. You'd want Jimenez to be there in the middle.
A very different performance from Jimenez in the Super Cup so far, even though he's got a goal against East Bengal from the penalty spot, but he missed a few sitters out there, especially in the first few minutes. But right now we might have a chance opening up. It is Jesus Jimenez, and once again, just when we were speaking about the misses, he's just missing that touch, and maybe he's scoring boots somewhere in the locker, missing at the moment.
Well, again, ball comes into Vibin, slides in a pass for Jimenez, and how can you miss from there? You expect him to at least put the ball on target, but he's had 2 efforts in the last few moments, and both of them are off.
Especially when you have scored 11 goals in the Indian Super League, and after scoring 11 goals you are certainly on the watch. Somewhat of a Diamantaka story maybe. He moved to East Bengal and then he hasn't scored too many. They will hope not. There's still time. Srikuttan controls, but maybe the coordination could have been better, or the control.
Well, this is more of the movement that we were talking about. Iban putting in the ball. Vibin slips in a pass again to Jimenez, but that's not even close.
I mean, if you look at the last 2 misses from Jimenez, the control was so good, and then he just shoots it off target.
The control to set him up is good, but the finish doesn't match it. And these are the kind of misses that might cost Kerala this game and their future in the Super Cup.
A very strange stat that in the last 3 meetings against Mohun Bagan. Kerala Blasters have always conceded a minimum of 3 goals.
And another interesting stat that we've seen in the Super Cup, the team that scores hasn't ended up conceding.
And Noah, a block by Saurav, Vibin. And Amandeep, he's having probably one of his best games tonight. Iban, another block, blocks after blocks, and Mohun Bagan can move away with it. He can run, but he doesn't have options. And just checks back. Could have tried to control it. Kwame Pepra, can he change things? If not for Jimenez, it was on target. And looks like it'll be difficult to beat Dheeraj tonight. Somewhat back in that old form.
Gumushikutan plays in Pepra. Vibin's shot blocked by Runo Reis. The Colossus making an important block.
Vibin. Pepra's header was totally not well directed under pressure. And Suhail does some defending. He scored the goal and now he's down to defend. It should be a free kick, and that's clever. Earns that free kick out there.
Well, Mohun Bagan getting out of the back very well, not just by clearing the ball but winning a foul. A poor header by Pepra sends it back to Vibin, who took the corner, and then a toe poke from Suhail takes it away from Iban. They bring it out of the back very well. Lagarto making that foul on Suhail.
And that was the last contribution from Suhail. Game management time maybe from Mohun Bagan. Glenn Martins comes in. Some more defensive security in that midfield.
I think Mohun Bagan starting to lock up, getting in some experienced players in those positions.
Srikuttan is in and he's looking for Jimenez but doesn't find him at all. Falls to Noah. 1 goal and still they'll hope. Sahal is the furthest forward right now.
Well, if Kerala get a goal back, we'll have a game on our hands.
So now Abhishek Suryavanshi might play an aggressive role with Glenn and Deepak sitting down deep, and now Noah stuck under his foot just over Kwame Pepra. It's such a day in the office for Kerala Blasters when nothing is working.
Well, we're going to see Kerala Blasters attacks mount as the time goes by. Noah trying to find Pepra, but Nuno Reis was there right behind him and the ball went over Pepra anyways.
Again, a quality touch from Jesus Jimenez. Dropping deep to maybe allow some room for Pepra. Vibin. Crossfield towards Iban. Too deep. Overpowered. And Bastab Roy is certainly looking to shut down the game with Glenn Martins being pushed on the pitch. Him and Deepak Tangri in the defensive midfield area will be guarding and adding more security to the back line. But wonder what will happen if Kerala Blasters score now, because now they have no proper striker on the pitch. Sahal leading the lines. What if Kerala score?
Well, if Kerala score, Mohun Bagan going to have to then defend a 1-0 lead. They'll
certainly be under pressure then. Thankfully, they had got the second goal.
Well, I think Mohun Bagan chose their moments to go forward, made the most of it, finished their chances, and that's what it's been for Mohun Bagan. Kerala Blasters have seen a lot of action in the Mohun Bagan half, finding in runs behind, balls slipped in, but they've not finished their chances. That's been the big difference.
And Noah stepping away from Salah towards Kwame Pepra. Falls behind him. Everyone down to defend. And now is the time to show some resilience. Ipan from the right, switching direction. Kwame Pepra under pressure. Pepra turns, Pepra shoots. Could not at all connect well.
Iban finding it very well holded up by Pepra. Gets a shot. But this is better play from Pepra now. Using his upper body strength. Spinning Amandeep and getting a shot off. I think it's going to be not too long before Kerala find a goal.
Well, is this the moment then? Nuno Reis, he certainly made a difference. Iban, he was looking for Jimenez, who already made the run, and now they might be caught. Sahal finds Ashik, using his body to shield it, and earns a free kick. A little heated moment. Bikash doesn't like it, but they all step in to calm it down.
Sahal managing to find Ashik somewhere, and you know Ashik is going to fight for every ball. Uses his upper body strength. A bit of a tussle. Bikash, Ashik both unhappy. Nuno Reis getting his head onto it. It's been sturdy defending from the back line of Mohun Bagan. And I think Mohun Bagan now, if they need to create something going forward, it's going to be on the counter. They're not really pushing men forward. If you look at the players playing forward, Salah, Sahal, Ashik, probably they're going to wait till Ashik and Salah are the furthest up and make a sprint.
Now we'll have a look at the two goals scored here. The first one in the first half, Salahuddin just dribbling past Naucha so easily, and Sahal's touch was class.
It's the second touch by Sahal that really takes Homipam by surprise. He controls it here. The next touch sets him up for that dink. And that is a sublime finish.
And that is the moment when they celebrated. And no one was expecting that apart from the Mohun Bagan fans and the Mohun Bagan team on the pitch. And in the second half, they doubled the lead.
The first time it was Salah, this time Ashik. Suhail timing his run. He jets in front of Drincic a few seconds before the cross comes in and then decides to go behind him. And that is what outfoxes Drincic on that goal.
Ashik Kurunian was pretty silent in the first half, but in the second half, certainly we have seen what we know of him. And that is why Iban was brought in to try and stop his runs. Again, looking for the run of Noah, but they have read it well. Saurabh Banwala clears. They've done the analysis and research well. Kwame Pepra, more of a hopeful attempt than anything else.
Well, that's a poor shot. Srikutan doing ever so well to find Pepra. Pepra gets his angles all wrong and then just has a swing at the ball. That was never going on target.
Another change coming up for Kerala Blasters. Interesting because Dusan Lagator is being taken off. He was the one who controlled the midfield against East Bengal. It is Ebindas who has come on. Very interesting change. And now Ashik looking for Sahal. Trincett steps in.
I would have thought that the Blasters would have got somebody like a Freddy, more experienced. Ball coming in, Ashik sending Sahal, but Trincett with a timely sliding challenge. Now Mohun Bagan getting themselves into the half of Kerala Blasters. Not seen too much of that in this half.
Ashik smoothly past defenders, falls to Sahal. The slick control, and can he dribble past two? He loves to dance with the ball. They're combining on that left-hand side. Ashik and Sahal. Back with Sahal. It was kept in play, but what a phase of play. Dominance from the two national team players. And that is what you expect. They were the ones from the seniors pushed to the squad.
Well, both the Kerala boys dancing around the defenders. You see Sahal with some silky, smooth footwork, using all the parts of his foot, body feints, plays it to Ashik. It's almost like a dance-off. It's Sahal doing a bit of moves and then says, "All right, Ashik, it's your turn now." And then Ashik goes at it.
Have the communication going, both of them. Know a lot of each other. Jesus Jimenez, the control once again perfect, but they need the finishing from somewhere. And Deepak Tangri and Clan now will keep clearing their lines. And quarterfinal number 2 up next, FC Goa and Punjab. They will have to do a lot of research about this Mohun Bagan squad if the scoreline stays like this. But we'll find out first who makes it through from that very match. It'll be very interesting. Both of them were sharp in the round of 16 fixtures. Manolo Marcus Goa, wonderful from Ashik Kurunian. And that is what they're special for. Sahal. Trincett has won it back. But that bit of trick from Ashik.
How about that move from Ashik? A little flick, goes around Iban. Iban not able to read that. Ashik having something of a suspense and surprise in his locker.
Magical, isn't it? Both him and Sahal. And you wouldn't have expected this in a squad like this when you are coming with the young ones to try and give them an opportunity. Brilliant. And Saurabh Panwala as well. Srikuttan, still the blocks coming in the way. Noah Sadui with his left foot. Dheeraj again. How many saves has he made in the game?
Well, so far, a lot of the power pack shots have been straight to him. Noah coming up with another one, going on his left where he has often gone when he's been against Panwala. And the shot going straight to Dheeraj again. So, good positioning by Dheeraj. Does really well to punch that away.
Noah is disappointed. Certainly after the show against East Bengal, you would have expected more from Kerala Blasters. They didn't show up with that because Mohun Bagan's plan, and they have studied David Katala in one single match, and they've stopped the runs of Noah. They've stopped the passes, and I think you had a chat with the coach before the match where you were asking in the pre-match interview, what would they do if Noah is marked off? And they're facing that question on the pitch right now.
Well, his response was that the rest of the guys are going to have to step up, and the game's not played by one player. So, unfortunately, Kerala Blasters haven't seen that player step up yet, or players. But on the other side, Mohun Bagan, pretty much every player has stepped up to the occasion today.
And at the same time, they did not step up, and the ones who stepped up, Jesus Jimenez, a couple of chances blazed away. Kwame Pepra with a few half chances. Iban, Kwame Pepra turning in the box. Nuno Reis with the block. Iban has it. Curl on it. Dheeraj flies in. Clutters with Noah, but play on, says the official. He's up on his feet.
Well, not so convincing goalkeeping by Dheeraj, but guess who's there to pick up the pieces? Mohun Bagan player, Glenn Martins.
It's been a very interesting season for Dheeraj. He's just played one game in the Durand Cup, had a clean sheet. He's just played one game in the Indian Super League, had a clean sheet. Can he do it again in the Super Cup? Pepra, they can certainly change it. But Deepak Tangri moves away with it. He was looking for Ashik, but that was very wayward. Oh, nicely done by Srikuttan. His passes have been perfect. Kwame Pepra, Jimenez arriving. Jimenez with a chance. And that is wonderful from Dipendu to initially slide in and then collected by Dheeraj. Credits to Dipendu Viswas.
Well, they find Pepra in the space very well. A brilliant teasing ball in. But how can you miss from there? It's just not been his day today. And David Katala kicks off a bottle in frustration. And how lucky is Dheeraj? Falls right into his hands with an easy catch.
David Katala. Vibin. Srikuttan, after he stepped on the pitch, he has certainly created a few moves. His touches and passes look perfect. And Abhishek Suryavanshi steps in ahead of him, ahead of Srikuttan to steal it away. And Ashik with that bursting run. The pass Srikuttan has Sahal in support. What can they do? Do they take some time? That's certainly what Sahal is thinking. He'll just wait and looks for Salahuddin.
The covering from the Mohun Bagan players has been exceptional. And Kerala Blasters have not been able to break that down. Sahal trying to find Salahuddin. I think that ball should have been on the floor. Makes it a bit tougher for Salahuddin to receive on the bounce. But he's been a live wire through the game.
Look at the clock though. Time is running off. We'll have a look at that moment again. We've been doing his best to clear it out. Picked up a knock in the process. It's humid though.
Seems like a touch of cramps. But he's been running up and down the field. Two Kerala boys. Are they going to do a dance-off again? But for me, the game's wrapped up. I think Mohun Bagan have this in the bag. Should be taking away the win and into the next round.
Just the second corner for Mohun Bagan, now turned into 3. And they have another one.
Follow, man. Follow.
And Sahal, lovely control. Sahal finds Ashik. That'll be a free kick and a yellow card. It's frustration because of that little dance off from Sahal Abdul Samad. And he's really enjoying his time against his former side.
Well, toying with the players now. Sahal, Ashik. Both of them quick feet. Srikuttan going in too fast. Getting beaten. Drincic not too happy. And this is pure frustration. Doesn't even look at the ball. Goes straight for Sahal.
Sahal's night, isn't it? Milos Drincic picks up a yellow. He scored the opening goal, Sahal, and almost playing like a leader. Three of the Kerala boys standing near it. Sahal, Salahuddin and Ashik. And now time for Ashik maybe. They're just running out and running down the clock. 89 minutes. Kerala Blasters hopes dimming down. No one would have expected that, especially after what they saw in the opening day. But Mohun Bagan, it is the name, the shirt they play for, the crest they play for, the motivation they have, and the eagerness and hunger to perform.
Well, this is smart from Ashik. Kicks the ball off. Drincic. Now they're going to kill some more time. Sahal and Ashik.
Excellent football. Sahal. And now Ashik, another corner. He is just playing with their minds. Simulation at the moment. And Sahal Abdul Samad and Ashik Kurunian, the controllers, 6 minutes added on. Ashik taking his time. And this time, finally, they have it back. And they have given it away under pressure. The mental game. And it has started to drizzle a bit here. Pouring down. One will celebrate, one will go down disappointed, demoralized. Dheeraj. More of a clearance that coming in. And can they induce hope late in the game? Kwame Pepra is there. And before Srikuttan could attempt another save. And once more, this time off the line. Commitment 110%. Amandeep, what a game he's having. Everyone on the pitch, they have performed. Not sure whose touch was there at the end of that shot. Oh, it was Kwame Pepra. He was down to the ground, still managed the shot. Dheeraj with the save. And from the corner, the header goes wide. Jesus Jimenez. And that goes the hopes as well, maybe. We'll have a look at that move again. And Noah troubling the defenders as he does. Kwame Pepra was down but quickly up and manages a shot. A reflex save from Dheeraj. Look at the numbers under that stick. Amandeep, Deepak Tangri, Nuno Reis, everyone back in the line. The spirit of the team is on an absolute high. Yellow card for Saurabh Panwala, but he wouldn't mind. They've worked really hard. The only bright spark has been Vibin at times and Srikuttan in the second half for Kerala Blasters. And Drincic has moved up. Kwame Pepra. Pepra looking for the exchange. Jimenez caught out by Deepak Tangre. Now maybe a chance for Srikuttan. Very late in the game, but there might still be hope. And we were talking about the bright sparks, the bright spots in the Kerala Blasters team. Vibin and Srikuttan. And it is Srikuttan who gets his goal. And might be some drama left here. It just stayed onside. Saurabh Panwala was there, just playing him on. But what a fine finish. Kwame Pepra combining with Jimenez. That was given away quite cheaply. The pass was perfect. And only one thing in his mind, Srikuttan. He has been intelligent with those through balls forward. But Sahal has kept it in. Oh, beautiful. Slick control. Sahal Abdul Samad. Can they have more? It falls to Abhishek Suryavanshi. Blocked. And now Glenn Martins. A touch from Sachin Suresh off the post. And should be a corner for Mohun Bagan. Could have creeped in. Dancing Sahal, just troubling Kerala Blasters. In the first attempt, blocked. And the second one was difficult. Interesting technique on it from Glenn Martins. But do they again run down the clock? A couple of minutes remaining here. It's the same plan with Sahal and Ashik. But it doesn't work this time. Is there late drama? Can Kerala Blasters take the game to the penalty shootouts? Salahuddin working very hard. He was the one who created that first goal. Pepra, a slight slip, and then the tackle mistimed. Srikuttan. Back with him, trying to chest it down, but Glenn Martins clears. And that is an intelligent clearance because he tried to go for the longest distance he could with that clearance. Runs down a few seconds. They're pushing numbers forward. Dheeraj is out of his lines. And comfortable collection, a routine one. And 30 more seconds. They're all in high praise of Dheeraj Moirangtem. One keeper to the other, just inviting them to maybe have one last attack. And this might be the last chance for them. Srikuttan trying to latch onto it. And a fine timing on that challenge from Amandeep. And again, the longest route on the clearance. A minimum of 6 is what the board shows. Might be a few more seconds. And not too much though, certainly. A Drincic up front. Kwame Pepra, the touch away from the defender, but he slipped. And that should be it. They push numbers forward. Milos Drincic has stayed up. Kwame Pepra certainly made an impact. He'll be wondering why he didn't start the game, but what a night for Amandeep throughout the evening. And Dheeraj with a few great saves. Might be the last kick of the game. They've come into the tournament directly to play the quarterfinals with the youngsters. And if ever given an opportunity, this is how you should take it. An example from Mohun Bagan. And they've knocked out Kerala Blasters. And David Katala will not at all be happy. Disappointment on one side, but the travelling fans, they're habituated celebrating trophies, and this is just the first win on the road. And the Kalinga player of the match, Salahuddin Adnan, a boy from Kerala, coming up through the ranks of Matut Football Academy, has hurt Kerala Blasters here. And not just him, but Ashik Kurunian and Sahal Abdul Samad. And they have all performed well. The defense line of Mohun Bagan with Nuno Reis. And the tackles coming in from Amandeep, Saurabh Banwala, Dipendu with some interesting and important blocks. And of course, they'll be looking back at those Jesus Jimenez misses. And those were the closest ones that could have and should have been converted. And Noah tried, but he's not to be blamed alone. It is a team, and they needed to perform as a team. But they'll have to regroup and try new things, plan better. Slight drizzles here at the Kalinga, but we have found our first semi-finalists. Vocal Mohun Bagan fans, they will cherish this victory at full time. It's Kerala Blasters 1, Mohun Bagan 2. Sahal and Suhail with the strikes. Ashik Kurunian provided for that second goal, and Sahal and Ashik were absolutely dancing and toying with that Kerala defence. And we'll have a look at the story of the match. This is how it all started. Salahuddin dribbling past Naucha. He did not expect it. The pass was perfect. And Sahal, the control, silky smooth, and the finish even better to chip the keeper. And that is why they're all in the national team. Sahal Abdul Samad and Ashik Kurunian showing us why. The control from Salahuddin is not what we have talked about. That was also picture perfect. The dummy from Suhail, not intentional. That worked in their favour. That certainly did. They had a few attempts in the first half. The Kerala Blasters came close. Dheeraj stepping in time and again along with his defence line. And there were moments like this. And there were even better moments where either Kerala Blasters missed or Dheeraj and the defence stepped up. And the clean sheet was not to be taken. But they have the win. And there's another of those saves he's made this. It's not like they haven't attacked Kerala Blasters. They created chances only to be stopped. Milos Trincic struggled for pace. Salahuddin won it back. This was a big chance. Suhail was waiting. He went himself and he was absolutely furious. And that is the mentality. They want to perform. They want to score and win. And Noah stepped away from the defenders easy, but you can only step away, but you cannot win the battle unless you do the damage. And Amandeep recovered. Ashik and Sahal then started dancing. Ashik stepped away from Honpam on a platter for Suhail. And the familiar CR7 celebration coming out, but that dribble from Ashik Kurunian is done in the ISL final. The cup final against Bengaluru. Since coming on, he and Sahal changed the game, and here as well. But the young Suhail Ahmed Bhatt, he gets his goal. It was 2-0 and no looking back. Srikuttan came on for Kerala Blasters, created a lot of chances. Those passes were so good to watch. Jimenez controlled most of them but could not finish. Now Vibin again threaded it through towards Jesus Jimenez, who should have converted it. Definitely with the quality he's got after scoring 11 in the ISL. He should have done better. The defense was quite perfect. Srikuttan and the end of all those moves, saves after saves from Dheeraj Moirangthem, blocks after blocks from Amandeep Dipendu and Nuno Reis and Saurabh Panwala. But this was the moment when they came alive. Kwame Pepra, another save from Dheeraj and Dipendu combining together. Kwame Pepra, they created more and eventually got a consolation pack. And Nuno Reis making the block. And an important save, and then cleared up the line by Amandeep. It was still 2-0 at 90th minute of the game. But in additional time, Kwame Pepra, Jesus Jimenez, they wanted desperately to at least get a goal back, which they did. But there wasn't time enough. Srikuttan with a fine finish. Very sharp. And that made sure they had a bit of hope in the last 3 minutes of additional time. Mohun Bagan were solid. They brought in Glenn Martins. He was just onside Srikuttan. They could only manage one, and then Sahal. How easily dances past the defenders. Tested the keeper, and a few shots, once from Abhishek, once from Glenn Martins. And Satil Suresh had to dive, had to go down quick to make sure it doesn't go in. He took a touch off the post. And the final line of the story, a smile for Mohun Bagan. That was the last bit. And they did the unexpected. Suhail and Sahal, the scorers. And the winners of quarterfinal number 1. And the half in numbers, 18 shots from Kerala Blasters, 7 on target. They did their part, but it was to be saved and stopped by Mohun Bagan, who had 8 shots, 3 on target. They were clinical in the first half to convert, and once in the second half to double their lead. And today's Kalinga player of the match is Salahuddin Adnan, and the award being given by Sri Ramagovinda Parida, the officer on special duties, sports and youth services department, government of Odisha. Adrian Luna was not available for this fixture, and that was a blow for Kerala Blasters. His injury certainly played a part. He'll be disappointed. He'll not get further game time in the Super Cup. But we have our first semi-finalist, and straight away Mohun Bagan coming into the tournament, knocking out Kerala Blasters and sitting safely in the semi-finals. And they'll now sit and watch who they have as their opponents, FC Goa or Punjab FC. 26th of April, that is tonight itself, and the Mohun Bagan fans, they celebrated with the Viking claps and their players coming together, joining hands. They will probably stay down a few days more to enjoy the semi-finals of the Kalinga Super Cup 2025. They would love a hat-trick of trophies after winning the ISL League Shield and then the Cup. And now they're eyeing for the Kalinga Super Cup. And why not? Adrian Luna, he certainly was a difference maker. He's always the difference maker for Kerala Blasters, and it's proven again how different a side they are with and without him on the pitch. And that was the story probably as well for Odisha FC. Missed a few key players, but we'll hear out what David Katala feels about this performance from his team.
David, disappointing result. What are your thoughts for today's game?
Yeah, it's very sad, very disappointed because today it's clear that we miss a lot of chances, and especially in the second half. And the 2 goals that we concede is about 2 mistakes, so nothing else. We had the control of the ball, we had the opportunity, we had the chances. But finally, if we are not, all the players are not 100% in this project, and the mind is not here, it's already in holidays, so it's impossible to compete.
The running and the perseverance of the Indian boys on Mohun Bagan squad posing a big problem for you?
Yeah, especially we know that on the sides is when they usually create chances, and the 2 goals came from the 1-against-1 situation on the sides. So we then were strong enough in our fullbacks, and after we concede a lot of stupid mistake that it cost us the 2 goals. But cannot happen that we can miss these clear opportunities also. 1 meter in front of the goal and one professional player is missing an opportunity is not a chance.
Thank you, Coach.
They're certainly not happy with that finishing. David Katala, they created chances as we saw in the stats as well. The quarterfinals have kicked off here, and the next coming up at 8 p.m. tonight, FC Goa and Punjab FC. And Kerala Blasters, they'll be so disappointed. This was their opportunity to win the crown, win the trophy, which they are waiting for a long time now. Mohun Bagan, they're happy.